After months of threats, sanctions, and explosive accusations, Colombian President Gustavo Petro is finally walking into the White House to meet Donald Trump, a visit that could reset one of America's most important relationships in Latin America, or push it closer to breaking point.
We have many reasons to achieve a pact for life throughout the Americas and hopefully in the world and hopefully within Colombia, which is what matters most to us today.
What news do you hope to bring back from this trip, Mr. President?
Well, with good news, let's see.
Just weeks ago, the two leaders were locked in an open war of words. Trump accused Petro of allowing Colombia to become a hub for cocaine trafficking, revoked his US visa, and slapped sanctions on his family. The president even warned he was prepared to use US military force inside Colombia to dismantle drug cartels.
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States, and he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and
It sounds good to me.
Secretary Rubio mentioned.
You know why? Because they kill a lot of people.
Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So just what your message is
about
that.
He has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Petro fired back, rejecting the charges and accusing Washington of bullying a sovereign nation. Tensions escalated further after the Colombian leader criticized US operations in Venezuela and appeared at a pro-Palestinian rally in New York, moves that infuriated Trump's inner circle.
That the English, after trying to wipe out, he told us that's what I said over there at the United Nations in Panama, where the Sinu River flows into the sea it entails a responsibility. And how do you control the sea? They have threatened Mexico militarily, which has a part in the Caribbean. I told Trump, brother, you're getting deeply involved with these dangerous drug traffickers. You even pardon them. And yet you're attacking those who could help you. If your real goal was to defeat drug trafficking, who knows the Caribbean better than we do? Who knows Colombia better than Colombians themselves? Those who seize the most without killing anyone? Hundreds of tons of cocaine that Colombia seizes. But that's not the point they're interested in. The point is control. The Caribs sail the Caribbean Sea. That's why it's called that. South American, which is Santa Marta, Colombia. That's where we talk about these things. That's how humanity has been built. Trump, somewhat smarter than Netanyahu. So now we're in a second scenario after Gaza, the Caribbean. 100 dead, it could be thousands if they unleash the invasion. They tell me that I'm defending a dictatorship. What I defend and want to defend is life in the Caribbean and the people who live in the Caribbean. We've dealt with dictatorships ourselves. We don't need much support for that. If the people want it, they free themselves from dictators, and we certainly have freed ourselves from dictators in the Caribbean. They're not here because they can't leave, or they can leave, but they can't come back. Like a new political subject. Beyond and more powerful than nations with fewer deaths, but it continues, and the explosiveness that could happen there is at risk of a desperate move for peace.
Now, in a dramatic turn, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has granted Petro temporary entry to the US, clearing the way for Tuesday's high-stakes summit. US officials say the meeting will focus on three core issues. First, the war on drugs. Trump wants Colombia to intensify raids on cartels, destroy coca crops, and allow deeper US intelligence and military cooperation. Petro, while pledging to fight traffickers, has pushed for a different strategy, focusing on rural development and reducing dependence on the cocaine economy. Second, security and extradition. Washington is demanding faster extradition of cartel leaders and greater access for U.S. agencies operating on Colombian soil. Petro will seek guarantees that Colombia's sovereignty is respected. Third, trade and economic incentives. The White House is dangling investment and tariff relief if Bogotá delivers concrete results against fentanyl and cocaine networks.
The President of Colombia yesterday, and we continue to talk at all levels of government with a number of our friends in the Caribbean region. I actually think this is really good for peace in the Caribbean, because when you take away a major source of illegal cartel revenue, which is the cocaine trade, the fentanyl trade, other sources of illicit revenue, you actually remove the power of one of the main destabilizing forces in Latin America and in the Caribbean. I really do think, look, we say it all the time, this is the president of peace. One of the ways that you establish peace in your own hemisphere is to make it clear that the United States is going to be respected, that the United States is willing to take power away from criminal cartel organizations and give it to legitimate governments. That's how we see the future of the Western Hemisphere, and we think it's going to be much more peaceful than it was certainly under Joe Biden. I'll take one more question. Go ahead.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. On Greenland, do you have a message for European leaders? Many in Europe reject the idea that the island could be for sale.
Well, first of all, Secretary Rubio, I believe, is meeting with the leaders of Denmark and Greenland next week. I want to say it is, but maybe it's the week after that. We'll continue to deliver some of these messages in private, some of them in public. But I guess my advice to European leaders and anybody else would be to take the President of the United States seriously. What has he said about Greenland? Set to the side the crazy overreactions that I've seen from the press and from certain people in Europe. What has the President said? Number one, Greenland is really important, not just to America's missile defense, but to the world's missile defense. Number two, we know that there are hostile adversaries that have shown a lot of interest in that particular territory, that particular slice of the world. So what we're asking our European friends to do is to take the security of that landmass more seriously, because if they're not, the United States is going to have to do something about it. What that is, I'll leave that to the President as we continue to engage in diplomacy with our European friends and everybody on this particular topic. And again, thank you all for listening. Thanks for taking questions. And I just ask you, look, this is politics, and often Republicans and get in arguments with the press about things. And I understand that. I think it's really irresponsible for you guys to go out there and imply or tell the American people that a guy who defended himself from being rammed by an automobile is guilty of murder. Be a little bit more careful. We're going to talk about toning down the temperature, which I know the President wants to do, and I certainly want to do. One of the ways we tone down the temperature is to have a media that tells the truth. I encourage you all to do that. God bless you.